And now it is my great honor and pleasure to introduce our next speaker. He's been with Max nearly from the beginning. He was instrumental in bringing Max to the Philippines and to Africa. He's involved all over the place, making huge contributions to our growth, and he's a crown diamond. Please welcome Chris Gingras.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I have been with Max, my wife and I have been with Max International for 12 and a half years. And we have seen some absolutely amazing things. And it is not just about the inflammation that people are facing that are causing the diseases that we're hearing about on a daily basis. There's another disease, and it's called pocketitis. It is empty pockets, no money. Can anybody relate to that? I mean, even in a rich country like Canada, would you agree that there is issues with pocketitis? Yes. So this company created a win-win where you, as a consumer, you tell other consumers, you get compensated, and in return, your products are paid for. Isn't that a good deal? This is working everywhere. Some of you are aware we're in Ghana, we're in Nigeria, we're in Côte d'Ivoire, and many other countries that are in the works. And 5 years ago, people used to tell me, you're not going to have success in Africa. It's not going to work. They can't afford it. But the thing is, I tend to be a person, I'm going to find out for myself. I went to Africa, and it exploded. 5 years later, Nigeria is the #1 market in the world. We've been around for 12 and a half years. What is going on? We have literally hundreds and hundreds, and I'm being conservative, of very high-level doctors. There are countries that are waiting for our products because of what they have witnessed in their patients. I understand that sometimes we live in an environment that may be skeptical. That's okay. My recommendation is find out for yourself. And that's why I'm glad you're here. Give yourself a hand for being here, please. Give yourself a hand. Because not everybody does that. Not everybody does that. Most people will stay back and make a judgment thinking they know what's going on, and they're missing out. My wife and I, 12 and a half years ago, we were in debt up to our eyeballs. When I mean in debt, like deep. And if you're in debt, you understand you're in debt with the government too. Right? They're the last people you got to pay. No disrespect meant, but obviously, you understand what I'm saying. And folks, in 2 years, we were at float. And that was in 2007. We started with Max International, and we hit our first $1 million in Max International in 2011. In 2013, we hit our crown diamond level. In our market, it started in Canada. We hit our diamonds level, double diamond, triple diamond, even the crown, because we were just started African market. We didn't hit crown at the time. All of this has happened right here, homegrown here. Don't think that you have to be around the world to be successful. Are people already around the world? Absolutely they are. Don't get me wrong. In Africa, folks, they're not poor. They are very wealthy. And the middle class is increasing. This is happening all over the world. These pictures that you see over here are representing some things that might matter to you. For me, I had credit card issues. It was a problem. Today, it is not a problem at all. I also learned to manage. The other thing here is charity is important for us. In fact, Tammy and I, we just met with a lady from Plan Canada coming in to to recognize and congratulate because we have been committed with 10 families for 10 years. And now we have other projects that we want to do with them. Why do I believe in Plan Canada? Well, first of all, it's on my country. And they've done some wonderful things in the communities that they've built. So that's important for me, for Tammy and I. Now, That's basically close to our backyard, what you see on the left corner here. That's our property in Florida. And folks, I'm not trying to vent. I'm trying to share with you the possibilities from in debt up to your eyeballs or abundance. This is what we want to share with you this evening. Keep an open mind. So in moving forward, let's watch a little video that represents where we are in our economy today.
The world is changing faster than ever. What used to take decades is now taking years or even months.
What you see right now is the illusion that people have had for many decades about the workplace being the secure place to work the rest of your life.
For the first time in the history of our nation, our children will not do as well as us.
We've seen our friends get laid off. We've been laid off. We've had our pay cut.
People are overworked and underpaid. They seem to have less time and less freedom. They live under constant pressure.
This is going to be forced. And so even if your employer loves you, they may have to cut you. There's something wrong that on Monday morning, the heart attack rate increases by 35%.
Technology is accelerating, job security is declining. It just doesn't seem like the old models of making a living are as reliable as they used to be.
Every aspect of our lives, there's a better way out there, but we're still doing it the old way.
We live in the greatest country on the planet, and there are a lot of people sitting around complaining and being cynical.
Like everyone's whining about this old model, and I'm like, why don't you leave it? Look at all this over here. Look at all this opportunity.
Since so much of our lives revolve around our work and the way we make our living, many people are thinking there just has to be a better way.
The biggest challenge facing our world today is not making money, is what are we going to do with all the displaced, unemployed people?
People are afraid that they're going to make the wrong decision. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid that maybe I don't have the skills.
Hey, sports fans. Industrial age is over. It's dead. It's dying. That's why going to school to get a job is an obsolete idea. A steady paycheck is an industrial age idea.
I'm a network marketer. I've been full-time for 20 years. I have been training, my wife and I have been training people for 20 years. From my humble beginnings and still today. And what we want to share with you are the fact that our industry, the industry of network marketing or MLM or referral marketing, whatever you want to call it, this is the industry that we're in. We're talking about the global weight loss. We're talking 672 billion. Global skincare, 130 billion. Global nutraceutical industry. We share some wonderful products with you, 383 billion. Global energy drink, Red Bull, 5 Hour. No disrespect meant. Wonderful product, tastes great, but we know there's residue in taking these products. We have our max ATP. We are into these categories. And here's something that people have to also recognize. The network marketing industry, the income possibilities are massive. These numbers are real numbers. These are facts. We did our research to make sure that this information is accurate. We're at network marketing, right now we're looking in revenues of $190 billion in sales. It is more than the car industry. And that's an industry that people are skeptical. They're skeptical because they don't really know the potential. This is the reason we have these events, for you to understand the reality of it. Some folks want to get their products paid for. Some folks want to subsidize. And some folks, like my wife and I, want to go all the way. But not just for us. It matters to us what happens to you. And we have helped tens of thousands of people, not only to go full-time, but we'll also help create millionaires in the industry to be at the level we're at. Do you understand how powerful this business model is? We're talking about the business strategy that we're going to share with you. There's 2 different models. The residual income, that's the kind of income you can go on a boat cruise for 1 year. Well, that would be a little long, but you can, for 1 year, and the checks keep coming. Or checks is the 80s. Direct deposits are still going to be in your bank account. It's literally what's going on. We're going to talk about the bridge income, because we understand when you begin, you're not going to get the residual income. There is a process for you to get there. And of course, we have the customer income. But here's something I want to share with you. Being a mentor to this industry to many, 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 many people, and people come back to me and says, Chris, I'm working so hard. Why am I not earning the income that you're earning? Here's my answer. That's because you're spending your time here. Look at that's the pool you play with. That's my pool. That's your pool. And what happens often, the associates who start with this business, they play in the pool of customer gathering. We are like Amazons. We are networks. Every time a new person comes on board, it's a network from that person down. You understand? That's how I look at this. For me, when someone comes into the business, it's not one more package. It's another network. You understand? That's how this grows. It's the way I think about it. So let me share with you. We're going to cover a little bit of the binary income. We're going to touch on the fast start income and the prime bonus, just for you to have an idea of how you can earn an income as of next week if you're interested. If you're like me, I was desperate. I need an income like yesterday. I'll never forget, I was a month away from bankruptcy. I never forgot these days. I even have a ball every time these are moments, dark moments financially. And I'm telling you, if you're having dark moments in your financial situation, things can change. But hang around people who knows better. So the fact here is qualifying for commission. You consume 100 personal volume. PV stands for personal volume. This is what you consume. So from that point on, for example, we talked about the products. John did a wonderful job talking about the Celgivity, and for example, my two favorite is the ATP. These are my two favorite. In Canada, this is a $65, and this is $55 on loyalty. That means that you consume a minimum of 3 months, okay, in US dollars. Okay? I'll tell you in a minute why we get paid in US dollars. Canadian loves you to get paid. Would you agree that getting paid in US dollars is a good thing? Yes, every dollar you make what? 30 cents, 36 cents, 25 cents, whatever the exchange is, right? So this here is 120. We have the sports pack. The sports pack would be those 3 packages. And we have a promotion that we want to share with you this weekend with free shipping and free products. Really cool. This company is really here to help us grow and expand and evolve. So hopefully I'm not going to make a mess here. Here we go. Okay, so from there, when you qualify, this is personal consumption. You don't need to buy months and months of product to build your business every month. You just need your personal consumption. That's what makes it so powerful. Once you do that, preferred customer, and you know what I want to talk about the graph, the customer gathering? Well, by default, that's my default. If someone says, I need to be on the products for a period of time, perfect. I get them on the products. This is what I recommend for you to do. And you will receive 25% from the cost. So if you're talking about a product that costs $65, $16.25 goes back into your direct deposit. Does that make sense? And you get paid every week. Every time customer buy in that particular week, the following week you get paid. Does that make sense? Really, really neat. And then we have the fast start bonus, the prime bonus, and the binary team bonus. I know some of the numbers may seem a little bit overwhelming, but it's called duplication, and I'll explain to you exactly how that works. There's a reason why it works. And of course, there's the matching check bonus. These are extra bonuses that comes to you as you build your business. So instead of me explaining to you stuff that you're going to get paid, 6 months from now, let me focus on things you can get paid this week. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's move forward. So fast start income. The reason I want to call it fast start income, that means that you get paid next week. Today we are Friday, because Friday is end. If let's say we were Thursday, and you placed an order Thursday, and those of you that are brand new here that are evaluating this opportunity would like to get started, there are packages that we have available for you. By the way, free shipping if you come in this weekend. Free shipping. Tomorrow, by the way, you're doing a training to help you get started. We're giving you everything you need, and that will be tomorrow. So in this case, what happens is when you enroll in an associate, you enroll me. I'm excited. I'm on board. I want to change my life. I want to make a change. I want to make a difference. I get a package. Doesn't matter what package I choose. The person invited you today will give you the details. From that point on, if someone gets a Premier pack, you get $150. Again, this is in US dollars. If someone gets the Momentum pack, then you get $75. If someone gets the Personal pack, which we have an awesome package for Canadians, then you get $50. This is what we call faster commission. If someone comes in on Thursday, the order is placed, and on the Friday, the company receives the order. By Wednesday, you get paid. Anybody in the room have got paid doing that? Raise your hands if it has happened. Okay? So these are associates who have sponsored an individual who came with a package. That happens every single week, and you get paid. Does that make sense? So that's the first thing. The company wants to put money in your pocket immediately to get you started. Okay, let's talk about the second portion. This is the model that my wife and I have trained, Mike and all the leaders. This is what we do. We simplify the duplication process. And we want to keep that very simple. So here's what happens. So some of you looking at this say, okay, I might be interested. Let me see what I have to do because I'm really busy. I got a family. I got a job. I got a business. I got things to do. Let me see if I can absorb that. You can. So for example, the company says when you sponsor 3 associates, doesn't matter what package. Could be the bigger package, intermediate package, or the small package. Doesn't matter which one. You can even start with an auto-ship, just with 2 products a month. Whatever it is to choose. The fact here is as long as you have 3 people that are consuming a minimum of 100 CV. A CV, it's called commissionable volume. That's someone like me who buys something. You introduce me to the business, and I choose to buy the Celgivity, that's 65, and the ATP is 55, that's 120. That's 120 CV. Are you with me? $1, 1 CV. That's our currency. So what happens over here, the company says, okay, you are on your way to earn what we call a prime bonus. Now we're going to start paying you every single month. So what's going on is the company says, okay, but for you to get that bonus, you need to have at least 500 CV, commissionable volume, coming from the people you brought in. So you can have 3, and they can have their own customers, and you can top it up, absolutely. But in my experience, I had much better success if people would get 5. Does anybody here that knows at least 5 people that are suffering with their health? Raise your hand. Raise your hands. This is more than 50%. I'm sure there's others that just don't feel like raising your hand. That's okay. Right? How many of you in the room would agree that there are some people that you know of, maybe even yourself, that can use some extra money? Raise your hands if you know anybody or even yourself. Okay, I would say about 80% of people raise your hand. The rest of 20%, I know you count too. I get it. So what the company states is, go get 500 CV. 5 people. And that's what Tammy and I have been teaching around the world, and my colleagues. That's what we teach. And every time that happens, you are qualified to earn up to 75 US dollars. I say up to because it varies. It's a pool that's divided among the amount of people who qualify every single month. Are you with me so far? So what happens here is, just to expand on that, the company say, okay, we know that you need to have at least 3. You have at least 500 points with the people that you've personally enrolled. So you might have had 5. We're using the example the company share. If you help 3 out of the 5, 3 people to qualify for their Prime 1, that's the duplication I'm telling you about, the duplication process. If you help 3 people, what happens? Now you move up from up to 75 to up to 375. Does that make sense? How many of you have bought some properties with investments and someone's renting and you're actually earning clear $375? How many of you, raise your hand if that happened to you? 1? Okay. How many of you have properties that you're renting, you're not earning $375 cash? Okay. I was one of those people, I was losing every month. I didn't do this well. I didn't put enough money down. Then I sold the property, and the capital, of course, I made some money. But the point here is I had to invest hundreds of thousands to get this kind of investment out of rental property. Here, we're barely talking about 11 people, $375. Does that make sense to you? That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes we look at things so complicated, and it's so simple. If we carry on and we help those 3 to become prime 2. What happens here is they're also earning $375. Now you're going up to $1,500. And this is not the income I'm telling you about that's exciting. This is a bridge. But in third world countries, this kind of income, it's huge, massive. And that's the reason why it's exponentially growing around the globe. You have no idea how rich you are in this country. You have no clue. Some of you may, because I know some of you probably come from different markets. But you are living in a beautiful bubble in this country. And everything costs liquid gold. Would you agree with me? It's expensive to live here. So for Canadians to be able to say, I'm going full-time, it's probably not after $375 or $1,500 you're going to go full-time. We need a little more than that. And the fact here is we do have that. And let me share with you just a small segment of how powerful this is. Every single time you've helped someone earn that $75 or up to $75, you know what happens in your business? You're adding a block of 500 CV. Do you remember when I said to qualify for the prime owners, it generates 500 CV? Do you remember that? Well, these are what we call my billing blocks. If I help someone earn that $75, you're adding a block of 500 CV. So if I help those 5 people, which are my 5, these are the same 5, by the way. You're following me? So in your business, this is how it looks like. And if I help this person, that person to get to prime level 1, now I would have 1,500 points here and 1,000 points here. Are you with me? That's just your work. Do you know what happens when the team start duplicating that? It becomes massive, massive. So what happens here is you see a bronze associate. A bronze associate, that means that you got 2,000 points here and 2,000 points here. If you do the math, by quantifying the numbers I mentioned earlier, that's 1,500, that's 1,000. So how many persons do you need on this side to qualify prime 1 to have the left qualified to earn this? How many? 1, you need 4 total, so you need 1 more. That was the correct answer. On the right side, how many more do you need added on to those 2? 2 more. Now you're getting it. Once you got 4 on your left and 4 on your right qualified prime 1, now you are earning a bronze income. Now, I know that a bronze income is not going to turn around and pay your mortgage. But if you duplicate that, it becomes powerful. For example, corporate, John Winterholler will give a few minutes to share at the end, tonight paid a beautiful supper for all the bronze and silvers, all the bronze graduates at the hotel over here. Each meal was about $30 plus tax and everything else, whatever they drink. You understand? On top of the fact that you get paid every single month. Are you with me? And you can earn up to $500 as a bronze. To become a silver, the number that you see 5,000 here, that means that you need to have at least 5,000 points. Quantify 5,000 divided by 500 is how many people? 10. Did you have to bring 10 people? No. You might have bought 1, maybe 2. But we are helping and duplicating. We have conference calls, webinars, trainings, tomorrow's trainings. We are here to help and support you. And that's why it's expanding. And from that point on, now when you reach 5,000 on your right, 5,000 on your left, now you are a silver associates. Now you're earning anywhere between $500 to $1,500. And there's some people that are going to walk away from that. They just don't get it. And that's okay. I'm telling you, it's totally okay. There are many, many people that need this. Would you agree that with the story that Lisa, their story that she shared, could you imagine how her life is affected today by this product? Could you imagine how many people you can help? This company is a very modest company. We have a product that is out of this world that I don't believe most companies can meet or compare. And the fact is we don't brag and there's no hype. We're like doctors, very modest and very credible. And every time we share with you, we share facts, information, and science to back it all up. There's nothing missing. And you don't need to know all this stuff. We have videos for you. If you go to www.gocmax.com, and I know there's other sites out there, this presentation is recorded. You can see it there over and over and over, and you can actually share that with someone else. You want to become a gold associate, platinum associate. Our goal is we want to help you get to diamond. We know in Canada, this is the kind of income you live well. Would you agree with me? Remember, this is US dollars. This is US dollars, right? My wife and I have reached the crown diamond not because we're anybody special. That's because we kept going at it. We keep sharing with the social environment. We keep training, we keep teaching, and we travel a lot. But that's by choice. So ladies and gentlemen, how to get started? It is $25 if you just want to position yourself with no product purchase. But if you get a package, which are listed over here, and again, the package, or everything is done online. You can fill an application, absolutely, but really everything is done online. Everything is electronic in our country. Everything is. You go online, you fill your information in, and boom, you get paid. It's that simple. From that point on, these are the packages that you are going to, and you're going to get a variety of products that will get you started so you can get your business off the ground. We have established in multiple international markets around the world. We have achieved over 480 million sales in our first 10 years and paid out over 240 million in commission to people like you and I. And it's growing. The person invited you has given you a gift. The person that invited us to this opportunity has changed my wife and my life the moment we enrolled. Everything changed for us. Vitality increased, better health, more money, more time, less stress, see more of the world, and help you give back to your community. Now, folks, there is three requirements. Number one, I know it sounds very simplistic, but you need to start dreaming again. You need to start recognizing that you're entitled to a whole lot more than what you might be getting right now. Number two is you have to work. You're not going to get rich because you signed up. If you start a McDonald's franchise and you spend all this money and all this time and all these resources, but nobody shows up for work, do you think your McDonald's will be successful, even though you have a proven business model? No, it won't. So the fact is you got to show up for work. Number three is probably one of the most important. Willing to learn and unlearn. You know, often, I say this often in our training, as we share with people, as we mentor, is never forget where you come from. Always remain humble and always remain a student. It doesn't matter how much money you make. Always remember where you come from. And this is what my wife and I repeat ourselves on a daily basis. I would like you to help me to read what's in blue. Are you guys okay with that? I'm going to read what's in black. It says, if someone offers you an amazing, let's say it like you mean it. If someone offers you an amazing, but you're not sure you can do it, then learn how to do it later. It's really that simple. This is coming from a billionaire. I think we all know Sir Richard Branson, right? So your attitude today is a result of your attitude decision of the past. What you've done in the past is the past. You understand? The decision you're going to make today will affect your results tomorrow, I assure you. This is why Tammy and I are in Max International. This is why our colleagues that share with you are in Max International. This is why Max is in 16 countries around the world and changing the world. Folks, what's really interesting is this company started with a drop that created a ripple. A ripple that started from a dream of doctors. From the dream of these doctors, it caught the vision of visionaries like our executives that Mike shared with you earlier, which in turn created a company, which in turn created a team of associates and consumers like you and I that are sharing this around the globe, which now has turned into a mission. The information that is being passed on to you is a promotion for you to take advantage of some free products. If you are not an associate yet, thank you. If you're not an associate yet, my recommendation is sit with the person that invited you here this evening. Find out what are those packages, because I assure you that those packages will give you an advantage by having what you need to get your business off the ground. If you are an existing associate, you can replenish your products by free shipping and some free products. And if you are an associate, you get free shipping. Do you understand what I'm saying? So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, just before I invite our corporate executive to share a few words to finish the evening, I just would like to invite two individuals to share their quick stories. One is a gentleman who's a retired pilot by the name of Paul Testament, who is a Gold Associate. Please, Paul, come on stage. Let's give him a hand. And the second person is a person who reached the level of platinum. Ann Bushell is a person I have a lot of respect for. Please help me welcome Ann Bushell to the stage. Here she is.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Paul Tessman. I've been with the company right from the beginning, and just a little bit of background. I got my pilot's license when I was 16 years old. Before I got my car license, I did have a motorcycle to get to the airport so I could fly. And then I spent 42 years flying commercial and also in the military for 28 years, flying jet fighter aircraft, search and rescue, heavy lift transport around the world. And then I went into the government, flew for Transport Canada, did VIP flying for 15 years. So most of my adult life was flying toys, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And the last 8 years of my flying career, I actually got involved with Max. And I got involved, and it changed my life. And I am so passionate, so excited about being in Max, more so now than I was when I first joined. Believe me, I am not kidding you. Now, I know all of you out there have different dreams. And you know, maybe you just want to get your product paid for, as was alluded to before. Maybe you want to go on trips. Maybe you want to go on paid vacations. Maybe you want to be a millionaire in Max. Maybe you want to do things that you haven't done before. And all of those dreams are good. And all of those dreams you can do in Max. My dream is to be the diamond and above, and that's what I'm going to be. I promise you that, and I'm going to be traveling. I've already done that over the last number of years. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Nigeria. I'm going back to all of those countries. And it's all basically paid for by the money that you make in Max International, in my case. Now, there's 3 areas that you've got to really rely on and concentrate on, which I did, and I'll quickly go through these. Number 1, you've got to know the compensation plan, because you've got to maximize the compensation. You really have to know all about it. You have to study it. You have to learn it, study it, teach it. You have to become it so you can maximize every month the income that you're making. And that's important. Number 2, and this was alluded to by Chris, we get paid in USD. We pay for our products in USD, right? So there's an exchange rate. We live in a country where we can take advantage of not take advantage, we can actually benefit from the laws of having a home-based business in Canada and be able to claim it through income tax. We can do that. Many people in Max, I'm so surprised how many people don't do that. Many of us do that. I do that for the last number of years. It's absolutely amazing. Believe me. Take advantage of the income tax benefits in Max International. Guys, to finish off, this company is worth your time, your effort, your sacrifice. I'm in this for the rest of my life. And for those guests that are here tonight, you will not find a better company than this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Paul. Let's give it up to Paul.
Hi, everybody. My name's Ann Bushell. I'm from right here in Toronto. And I have to say, I'm more passionate today about our profession of network marketing than I was when I first hopped on board just over 20 years ago. So I was with one former company. It was a nutritional company. They had great products, but they didn't have the pay plan. And when I look at our pay plan, like Chris just went through tonight, I get excited because it's so fair and ethical for the part-time person. Every time I sit down and I do a one-on-one, I try to emphasize how fair this is and how everybody can do this if they just go to work and if they focus. And it's the best decision I ever made, bar none, coming to Max International. And I did that 10 years ago. And I listened to my sponsor, Mike and Lynn, and I listened to what they told me to do. They taught me and trained me, and I literally focused on what they told me to do. And in 90 days, I was earning a full-time income. It is doable on a full-time basis, but on a part-time basis, you can get there as well, because it's a fair and ethical plan. So at the time that I came to Max, I'd actually lost my day job, because with my former company, I was only part-time, and my day job went belly up overnight, and that was it, no job. And I was in my late 50s, and anybody in the room who's over the age of 50, if you go out looking for a job, it's not an easy world out there. There's job scarcity. It's not like it used to be. So I thought with my former company, if I went to work really hard and worked at it full time, I would get the income up and I wouldn't need to go and look for another job. It wasn't the case. 6 months later, I'm no further forward. There wasn't the training with that company. There wasn't the leadership. But when I came to Max, there was my solution. And I came to Max for 2 reasons. One, that we had a product that raised the glutathione level, and everybody walking this planet needs raised levels of glutathione, and we've just heard tonight why that is. But the other reason was the pay plan, because it was fair and ethical. Because in my previous company, there were very few people in my team that were earning income, and it always bothered me that I was the only one that was earning the income. So here at Max, we have tons of people earning really, really good income on a part-time basis. And of course, if you're full-time, then that's even better. Just like Paul was saying, with the exchange rate, it's amazing the income that you can achieve. So anybody who's a guest here tonight, I encourage you to take a close look and sit with the person who invited you and really consider partnering with us, because we would love to have you and take you to the top with us. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Just give it up for these guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Paul and Ann. At this point, we're going to finish the evening with a quick finale with our executive from Salt Lake City. John Winterhaller is responsible for the Americas and also Australia. He's a man who comes with incredible amount of experience in this industry, in the corporate side of the business. So please, folks, help me welcome John Winterhaller to the stage.
I'm glad you stood up. I'm glad you stood up and clapped at the beginning, because you may be too tired when I'm done. Chris tells me I have 4 hours, right? No, I will be very brief. What a wonderful evening. Many of you, I recognize your faces. It's great to be with you again. Others, you're new, and I welcome you on behalf of Max Corporate to be with us tonight, and we hope for a long time to come. Max Corporate has very specific responsibilities. You've taken a lot of time tonight to hear and learn about the responsibility and role of our associates, which is literally to take Max products to the world. Max Corporate really doesn't do much, to be honest with you. All the hard work is done by you. And for that, we pay you a significant amount of the total revenue that comes in the company. 50% of every dollar that's taken into the company through the purchase of products gets paid back to you. Every single month, every single week. That's what we call marketing expense. So we really don't, you'll never see a billboard. I shouldn't say never. Never's a long time, right? You more than likely won't see billboards or advertisement in magazines or television commercials about our products. Why is that? You're the billboard. You're the magazine. You're the spokesperson. And the reason that is so powerful for us and our products is because our products take some explanation. If you were to go right now down to the pharmacy and you would see lines and lines of supplements, how do you know the difference between them? Which ones are good, which ones aren't so good? There's a lot of noise in the system. But if someone tells you passionately about a line of products that they use, they take, they have personal experiences, they know people who've taken them, who've had experiences, and behind it is a pay plan that we've heard so much about, you have something that needs to be explained to someone. And for that, Max chose many years ago that the model of what we call network marketing is the only method by which we dare take these wonderful products to the world. Because of that explanation, because of the passion that it requires behind those products for someone to be able to experience them themselves. But let me go back to what we do as a company. We really do some very basic things that we're responsible for, and you should maniacally hold us responsible for these things. First, we need to provide you with these stellar products that have been tested, tried, proven. The quality is assured every single time. It's not as easy as it sounds, but it's pretty straightforward, right? We provide you the products. Second, we take your orders and those that you get to use the products and process those orders. We collect the money. We make sure that those orders are fulfilled, that they get to you on time, and we do that piece of it. And behind that's a little bit of customer service, right? Our customer care department, all what I would call operations. That's the second thing we do. The third thing, which is perhaps most important to you, is we provide a regular paycheck paid on time every time. Now I say check. I'm dating myself there. I don't think anyone takes or writes checks anymore to some extent. But we go through the pay cycle on time every time. It is our mantra. You never have to worry about and have never had to worry about since 2007 when this company began whether you were going to get paid or not. It happens every single week and every single month depending on that cycle. The fourth thing we do is work with the field to provide you with the tools that you need to be able to share this message. We got a lot of work to do there all the time because technology is moving so quickly. New tools are needed, new explanations, new medium that we use in order to share that message. Those four things, we don't really do anything else. So you're giving me a lot of credit for representing Max Corporate and a big standing ovation. No, we don't do that much, except support you to the extent that you can become successful. One of the things you didn't hear tonight very much about was the ability that over and above the pay, over and above the belonging to the Max family, over and above this cultural fit that we're trying constantly to create, there's an opportunity with Max to travel the world. I have had, in representing the markets in which I'm able to work right now, the chance to travel this last 2 years, probably more than I dare admit. But I've visited virtually countries on almost every continent representing Max and its products. And many of those trips, probably more than half, have been for fun. We've traveled on cruises together, many of us together, right? I've been to Australia. I was sitting back there counting. I think I've been to Australia in the last 2.5 years 13 times. Okay? Now, that's not an easy trip, so I shouldn't get any awards for that. But still, nonetheless, I've been able to see a lot of country. I mean, if I could explain to you why you should become a diamond, why you should seek to become a diamond, I would give you one word: South Africa. This trip that we just returned from was so glorious. Riding in a hot air balloon above the savannah, watching the wildlife come out of their sleep and come alive that morning. I cannot tell you what it was like. Walking with the lions. I'm telling you, I'd heard about it, and I thought, yeah, you know, walking with the lions is probably a big cage or something. No, from me to Chaba right here, there's a big male lion, 4 years old, walking right in front of me, not concerned about me. He wanted the chicken in the guide's bag. I never thought I would experience something like that, and that invitation is open to you to go to work, dedicate your time, your talent, your energy, your passion to be with us each and every year on our Diamond Retreats. We may talk about that too often, but it is real. You will never experience anything like it. Next year, where are we going? Bali, right? I've never been there. So I can't wait to find out what that's about. And there'll be another one the next year and the next year. But first of all, to those of you who came tonight for the first time, were invited and chose to take a Friday evening to listen, thank you. And I congratulate you on your willingness to come and spend some time with us.